me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to Classic Flyers Theater with me, Timmy Flyersguy. In today's episode, this will be part 4 of the 2010 Flyers Devils series. I hope you all enjoy this as the Philadelphia Flyers take on the New Jersey Devils in the 2010 Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Let's go Flyers! And like I said, this is part 4, so I hope you all enjoy it.
The NHL postseason party known as the Stanley Cup Playoffs has become an annual ritual in Philadelphia. This season, the Flyers began their home playoff season intent on putting their stamp on their Eastern Conference quarterfinal series with the Devils. Mission accomplished. A scrappy Game 3 wasn't claimed until some overtime magic from Dan Carcillo set off a wild celebration. 2 nights later, the two teams went toe-to-toe once more. The Flyers wore the Devils down on their way to a convincing 4-1 win and a commanding 3-1 series advantage. The Flyers had the look of a team finding its groove at precisely the right time. The Devils now have to win or face the end of their season tonight. The Flyers have their own adversity as their series lead has come at a tremendous physical cost. Game 5 next. Devils fans revving it up outside Prudential Center. They're hoping this isn't the final time they get to rev it up before a playoff game here at home because their Devils are facing elimination. The Veteran Lady Club has to win tonight to keep its season going. The Flyers, they're hoping to move on to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they'll have some newcomers in the lineup in regard to that quest. It's Game 5 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals between the Flyers and the Devils here in Newark. And a pleasant good evening. Welcome to Flyers playoff hockey coverage here on Comcast Sports. That along with Bill Clement, I'm Jim Jackson. Steve Coates will join us here in just a moment. Well, Bill, the Flyers ahead 3-1. This is a very good position to be in. 1 win away from the second round. A lot of things have gone well for them.
Yeah, without a doubt. And coming into the series, so many people around the country, Canada as well, wondered if that Flyers 5-1 record against the Devils during the regular season would mean anything. Well, the Flyers are now 8-2, including playoffs in the season against the Devils, and are on the verge of becoming the first team to execute a huge upset. Remember, the Flyers are the 7th seed in this series. The Devils are the 2 seed.
But, of course, every team faces adversity in a playoff run, and the Flyers have hit theirs. It's not in terms of on the ice. It's basically injuries. 2 players that will not be on the ice, in fact, for the Flyers. Jeff Carter and Simon Gagne out with broken feet.
Yeah, just an unbelievable turn of events for Jeff Carter, who brought his game to a significant level and got on the board with 2 goals in Game 4. And for Simon Gagne, I think is the Flyers' most valuable and best two-way winger. That is one of the reasons Gagne kills a ton of penalties, and there have been a bunch to kill and a lot of shots to get in front of. It's one of the things Gagne does without complaining. Brian Ralston hit him on the foot, broke it in Game 4. Jeff Carter paid a price scoring a goal. Chris Pronger launched a shot from the blue line and hit Carter and went in. So now, what does head coach Peter Laviolette tell his troops? No Jeff Carter, no Simon Gagne. Where does the message begin for the coach?
We talked about it one time, and I think that was enough. I didn't want to talk about it any more than that, because then you're talking about what you can't control, which is the unfortunate injuries to Carter and Gagne. What I did want to talk about was our team, how well we've played as a group, the team concept and the team game that we're playing on the ice, how our team has gotten better, it seems, as the game goes on, how we've won big games as a team, how we're getting a lot of contributions from different parts of the team. And to me, nothing really changes. We take a couple of pieces out, we put a couple of pieces back in, but the team concept remains the same.
And so it is about moving forward. And Bill, when this happens, one's misfortune is another's opportunity. And for the Flyers, a couple guys who will see more ice time in this game: Danny Briere, Claude Giroux.
Well, first of all, Ville Leino goes into the lineup. He has some playoff experience. David Laliberte goes into the lineup, no playoff experience. Laliberte will play on the right side with Mike Richards, but he's not the only guy that will play there. Peter Laviolette's going to do something pretty interesting. While Danny Briere and Claude Giroux are both going to center their own lines, they're also going to spend some time on Mike Richards' right side, sharing the workload with David Laliberte. So instead of a French connection to Mike Richards' right, when he looks over, it'll be a French rotation, guy after guy.
Different matchups for sure. One matchup that is still the same from the beginning of this series: the two goaltenders, Brian Boucher against Martin Brodeur. And so far, Boucher, Steve Coates, is holding his own.
Oh, he's done a great job, Jimmy. And everybody thinking going into this series that Marty Brodeur's aura was going to carry he along with his 45 wins during the regular season for the New Jersey Devils. But no, it hasn't been like that. Brian Boucher's the guy that's been, the man of the hour. Look at the numbers. They speak for themselves. That's certainly not Marty Brodeur numbers there. And oh yeah, he's been spectacular. Don't get me wrong. Marty has still come up with a big save. He had an unbelievable save, as you're going to see, against Simon Gagne the other night. It was just absolutely unbelievable how he grabbed that puck. But still, he has not been as good as Boucher. Boucher has come so far in the last couple of weeks. He is solid. He's pipe to pipe, technically sound. He's not allowing a lot of rebounds. And I got to give a lot of credit to the guys in front of him. They've done a lot of good work not allowing that good shot on him. Don't go away. Coming up, you don't want to miss this one. It's the New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia Flyers.
Tonight's Flyers-Devils Game 5 is brought to you by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers. Go Flyers, go Toyota. Toyota, moving forward. By Budweiser, who salutes America's designated drivers who ask, "Want to go home with me tonight? I'm the designated driver." Responsibility matters. By Wachovia, the official financial services partner of the Philadelphia Flyers. And by Hyundai. Think Hyundai, but act now for special lease deals at your Hyundai dealer. The Stanley Cup playoffs are not for the meek. It is a 2-month grind when physical contact becomes a factor on virtually every shift. The teams see a lot of each other, and familiarity truly does breed contempt. The Flyers and Devils certainly aren't lacking in this first-round series. Face off after these messages. Tonight's first period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Pepsi Max. Maximum taste, maximum energy, 0 calories. And by VWLocal.com. Go to VWLocal.com or your area Volkswagen dealer to learn more about great deals on all their new vehicles. Prudential Center in downtown Newark, this side of Game 5 of this series. The Flyers with a chance to become the first team to move on to round 2 in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
And our key starting goaltenders, Brian Boucher for the Flyers, has been quietly spectacular. He's received some outstanding protection out in front. The defensemen have done a superb job. Martin Brodeur has had flashes of brilliance and goals that have gotten by him that he would like to have back.
And so we are underway. The Flyers back to their road white uniforms. White tops at least. Home Reds for the Devils, and we've got a penalty call. Imagine that. We'll have a power play here. It'll be the Devils getting the first power play of the game in a series that has been full of power plays. The Devils nearly mishandling that puck into their own net as Brodeur's gone off with the extra tackle with a delayed penalty call. And now Zajac has to peel back as Kovalchuk had gone into the zone ahead of him, and so they retool at center. Delayed call against Philadelphia. Parise's pass tipped. Devils still have it. Here's Zubris holding on to it, dropping it back out. Shot Andy Green deflected by the Flyers to the corner boards. Still control for the Devils until Carcillo gets there and the whistle. Mark Jeanette and Chris Lee are your referees in this game. Both guys that like to call penalties, so you might want to get used to this.
Well, yeah, you might want to keep your legs tucked in early in the game. Dan Carcillo right here had Paul Martin make a pretty good move, and Carcillo got twisted around with his back to him. Look at the left leg of Carcillo. You leave a ref no option but to call that.
No question, that is a penalty. And the Devils to the power play. They have spent a lot of time on the power play in this series. This is their 25th man advantage. The one-time shot, Kovalchuk save, Boucher rebound. It's Elias who kept it away from Timonen. Big stop already for Boucher. Kovalchuk again with a blast and a glove save. Boucher again. Brian Boucher with some early answers for that guy.
Well, the one thing about this power play for the Devils is it's really predictable. You know they want to move the puck over for Kovalchuk's one-timer. Brian Boucher anticipated both of those shots perfectly. Zach Parise had a gaping 4x6 cage looking at him without Boucher in it, and he misfired.
Well, the face-off now to Boucher's right, just 13 seconds into this man advantage, and the Devils encroached, and so they'll have to go with Parise on the draw.
Well, obviously, you got to really pay attention to Kovalchuk. I mean, but he does some silly things, so maybe you don't want him to change. They get a little frustrated when he takes those low percentage shots.
Like that one, which was blocked, but Kovalchuk is able to keep the puck in the zone, rolls it around all the way out to the other side. Elias. His pass tipped, bounces off the glass, then whacked out of the air by Parga, but kept in by Elias. Down low for Parise, broken up beautifully by Timonen. Parise back after it, though. Around behind, Langenbrunner back to Parise, and now out to Kovalchuk with a shot blocked. Then Timonen tripped up, and there will be a penalty. As Kovalchuk gets to it, there's the whistle, and the power play for the Devils is over. We'll get some 4-on-4.
Boy, what's outstanding. Penalty killing with great help from Brian Boucher, who very often your goalie has to be your best penalty killer. That's the one that Parise missed. Blair Betts was there to keep him from getting back up and getting it. And about 5 seconds later, back over to Kovalchuk. Brian Boucher able to make the save on all of those one-timers.
What a difference in this guy the last couple of weeks. I mean, before every shot was a risk, even for him. He'll tell you that. But now all of a sudden he's challenging the shooter. The confidence is unbelievable.
Well, he certainly has been challenging Kovalchuk. Here's Carl flipping one off the stick of Hartnell. 4 aside for the next 1:05, and then the Flyers will get an abbreviated power play should there be no more calls. Here's Brian Ralston moving up. Ralston to the Philadelphia line, over skates, and the Flyers have it back. Over and across for Carl. Now the pass in center for Danny Briere. Briere gains the line, has a look in the middle, looks for Hartnell, but it's jabbed away by Mike Motto. Devil line combinations as they skated in the pregame warm-up.
As we know them.
They skated that way in the warm-up does not mean they will be that way for long in the game, if at all.
They didn't. The starting line that Jacques Lemaire started the game with was different than the combo that he had in the warm-up, as per usual.
Exactly.
I'm still trying to figure out what you gain by doing that every game.
Richards with a pass to Van Riemsdyk. His shot wide, and that will go all the way back into Philadelphia ice with 12 seconds remaining on the Carcillo minor.
Could be a little delay in the Devils changes tonight because I got a dartboard over there to figure out who's up.
Here's Chris Praga with a right wing feed for Mike Richards. He gains the Devils line. Richards centering, goes in on Brodeur, and he makes the save and hangs on as Van Riemsdyk went hard to the net.
Give us a chance to take a look at our Land Rover keys of the game. Score first. Hey, listen, the Flyers won the last 2 games by not scoring first, but without Carter and Gagne, I think it'd be a good idea to get the lead. Equal power play opportunities, not necessarily goals, but just get on the power play as often as the Devils and control the speed zone. That is where Kovalchuk gets up all of his momentum. Have people in that passing lane going between the blue lines. I always call it the speed zone. That's where you get your speed up from blue line to blue line.
Flyers are on the power play now. 32 seconds remaining on the Langenbrunner minor. And a misfire on that pass attempt by Claude Giroux, and the Devils able to clear it all the way down. So Kimmo Timonen will start up. Even in 3 assists in the series, gets to Richards. Richards checked. Worked it through to Giroux. Out in front. They score! Danny Briere tips it home. And the Flyers power play strikes early in Game 5. It's 1-0. Briere scores for a case of tasty cakes.
What an unbelievable work of art by Claude Giroux. It's one thing for us to talk about it. Take a look at it. Watch the pass that Giroux makes here. All the way around his body to Danny Briere. He didn't put it right on the tape. We'll cut him some slack on that one. And Briere had to kick it up to his stick.
That was so close. Once the puck, watch the left pad of Brodeur. Watch it come sliding across and just not in time. As Danny Briere did a great job of just hitting the puck with the skate right up to the stick, and the motion was all in one. And that really was the key to beating Brodeur, because he just couldn't get pipe to pipe in time.
So you have a look at the first goal and its importance. It is important, but the Devils scored first in Philadelphia a couple times, and the Flyers were able to come back and win. So the first goal is important, but you have to try to build upon it. Something the Devils feel they did not do in Philadelphia. The Flyers will try here in North Jersey. Puck hit with a high stick by Darryl Powell, and so play is stopped. Our Virtua scratches from the lineups. Flyers going with the same unit, with the exception, of course, of Carter and Gagne, who are out. Berthet is in, as is Billy Leno. And the same lineup for Jacques Lemaire and the Devils.
Flyers have only scored first in one of the games in this series. They won that game. The Devils scored first in 3 games. Flyers won 2 of those. So it hasn't seemed to matter, but it's worth repeating that Jeff Carter and Simon Gagne are not in the lineup.
It's much easier when you're missing some of your scores to play from the lead. Try to shut the other team down. Here's Dean McCammon moving that one out of the reach of Brian Ralston all the way down. Krychek trying to get there for the icing touch-up, and he did.
Well, if the Flyers don't prevail tonight, they're off to a good start. But if they don't prevail tonight, they'll get another chance Sunday. And that would be Game 6. Lower level seats are available. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the playoff excitement. 800-298-4200 or visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
By the way, a shout out to all those watching us. The AT&T Pavilion at the Wachovia Center. I can hear him screaming right now. All the way up here. I can hear him screaming. Coatsy wanted to be at the party, but he's a little busy here. Ice level at Prudential Center.
Depending on what time the game ends, he might be able to make it.
Last call.
Yeah,
he may be there. Yeah.
When's last call?
They'll extend it for you, Coatsy.
What time can you get there?
Well, just give me a target.
And you'll hit it. I know that. Especially if the Flyers find a way to end this series here. There would be a lot to celebrate as Carcillo tips that puck into the Devils zone. And now Billy Leno trying to battle for it, but it's taken away as the Devils outnumbered him. Tynan Zubris moving it ahead. Pass to the middle. Zajac could not come up with it. Pronger ahead to Leno. Gains the Devils line. Hartnell driving toward the net. Leno backhands off of Hartnell and wide. Now Zajac able to tip it ahead to Zubris. Arguably the Devils' best forward along with that guy, Zach Parise, who fires high and wide in this series. Martin hit Zajac. That bounces out to Leno. Quickly ahead to Hartnell. Hartnell to the line. The quick shot fought off by Brodeur. Rebound. Chopped at by Hartnell. Martin took it out of harm's way. And Andy Green settles things down.
It's one of the new line combos that you'll see from Peter Laviolette. Danny Briere moves to center. Scott Hartnell on the left side. And 26-year-old Billy Leno on the right.
Leno, no rookie to playoff experience, as he did get some with the Red Wings last year.
And he's 20. That's one of the reasons I kind of ID'd him by his age. He's not a kid. He knows how to play in pressure situations.
Patrick Eliash's shot deflected by Kimmo Timonen up into the safety netting. Well, the Eagles' most important draft day in years is finally here tonight. Derek Gunn reports live from the NovaCare Complex, and Greg Murphy, Ron Burke, and Ray Dittinger are breaking down the Eagles' picks. Total coverage of the opening round. Draft day 2010 tonight, 10:30. Comcast Sportsnet 24/7 on CSNPhilly.com.
So Danny Briere showed us his finesse on the goal that he has scored here to give the Flyers a 1-0 lead. He showed us his power and his rocket-like shot in Game 4 with a laser over the shoulder of Marty Brodeur.
And Carcillo is staying right on the ice after getting hit up high with either his stick or puck. I'm not sure which. As Coburn will move the puck to Aaron Asham. The Flyers move out. Cross ice to Carcillo, and he'll softly play it in from the red line as Colin White goes back to retrieve. Asham buries him with a check. Motto up the wall. Parent pinch, put the puck out to James Van Riemsdyk at the Philadelphia line. He is swarmed upon, was able to push that ahead though to Claude Giroux. Giroux has a look and then back down low for either Asham or Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk will turn it down low. Asham behind the net, trying to center, does so. It bounces back out to Parent, who hangs on and gives to Van Riemsdyk. He's going to try a shot. That one went off of Bryce Salvador, and the Devils will gain control. Martin School, the veteran defenseman, back around for Salvador. 6.5 into this first period. Glad you could join us on Comcast Sportsnet. Flyers and Devils in Game 5. Flyers have the early lead. Zubris, Parent, tie each other up. Zubris so strong, but outnumbered. Danny Briere snuck in there to get the puck and starts the Flyers the other way. And it's Carl now. Leno looking for Hartnell. He's checked. Carl will send it back in along and around behind the net. Bounces to the side of the cage. Leno in the vicinity, but Zajac ahead for Parise. He's bumped by Hartnell. And the play is offside at the Devils line. Danny Briere cut off the Schneid in Game 4, and now he's on the board in Game 5.
You see the score. The Philadelphia Flyers lead the Devils 1-0. Danny Briere picks up his second of the playoffs. Last night, well, the other night rather, it was a rocket just inside the blue line. Down goes Brodeur, up goes the puck up over his left shoulder, and then tonight a little different type of goal. Great pass from Giroux, but look at his position. Briere is outside the pipe. That allows him a little bit more room to make sure he gets that puck between the pad and the pipe. Danny Briere gives the Flyers the 1-0 lead.
Danny Briere was a right winger when he scored 2 nights ago in Philadelphia. He's a center tonight. But without Jeff Carter, Danny Briere has to think of himself as a shooter. More of a setup guy when you play with Carter. Without Jeff Carter, you're the shooter.
And he's certainly capable of adapting to that role. As the Devils look for the puck and get to it, Patrick Elias turning with it. Elias backhands. That's cut off by Pronger. And now David Laliberté moves up. Finds Mike Richards. Richards trying to maneuver around Green. Could not. Brodeur will play it up and out of the zone. Coburn reaching for that puck. Turned it over, but Kovalchuk was in the zone. Langenbrenner had to wait, and then his pass could not be handled by Paul Martin. Carl fluttering that one into the right of Brodeur. Salvador hammered by Ian LaPerriere. And now it's Zubris charging up with it. Minus Zubris sends it in, and he's chasing with vigor. Shea to play the puck. Zajac mixes it up with Powell along the board. They continue to scramble. Teeman in there as well, trying to contain Zubris. Zubris gets it back to the point, Skula. And then behind the net is Zajac. Travis Zajac banking it back to the point. Salvador across for Skula. Skula's shot blocked by Betts, who clears the zone. Sent back in, but the Devils have to retouch the line. Timonen has control. Kimmo Timonen slowly moving up to the line. Will wind up in fire. A glove save easily for Brodeur. And he'll drop it off for Martin Skula. It's the 8.5-minute mark of this first period. Shots are 4-2 in favor of Philadelphia. One of them found the back of the net. Here's Claude Giroux. Set up that first goal to Van Riemsdyk. Over his stick just as he was about ready to fire. Well, Giroux and Van Riemsdyk combining to get the puck back. Here's Giroux with it. Back out to the point, Parent. He'll send it in along behind. Van Riemsdyk out in front. Asham denied side of the net. Now Van Riemsdyk, a shot save. They dig away. And Brodeur able to cover.
Man, let me tell you, those are some underrated little saves that Marty Brodeur just made. Outstanding idea and play by James Van Riemsdyk to get this out front, and then it was all Brodeur because Aaron Asham was there as well. Ryan Parent in behind, and then just a little chip deflection to the front. That's Marty Brodeur at his acrobatic best right there.
And you see that right pad right up against the pipe because he really has no idea where that puck is when it came from behind the net. You see the frustration on James Van Riemsdyk. Right now, Flyers do an outstanding job, as they have been on the 5-on-5 on the forecheck, Billy. But boy, at the other end of the ice, it's been a lot of 1 and out for the New Jersey Devils, as the Flyers have done a great job of outnumbering their opponent in their own zone to get that puck out.
Yeah, good point. Support is oh so important, especially against the Devils, because they do it pretty well themselves.
Ilya Kovalchuk to the puck here as the Devils trying to get back even in this game. Chip it ahead. Leno will drop to Pronger, banking it for Hartnell. Turns and lobs one deep into the Devils zone. Leno chasing. I did not Skula, but Skula finessed it past into Elias. Now Kovalchuk with some room to work with. Kovalchuk slowing down, waiting, and then going across. All alone is Skula. Takes the shot through traffic, and it glanced wide. Pronger backhands, and there's Leno 2-on-2 with Hartnell. Pass to Hartnell. Back for Leno. Hartnell's now stopped. Leno moving around Skula, trying to center. Goes to Richards. Angles it back through. Here's Coburn with room. And now his pass back across for Richards was tipped. Richards taken down by Salvador. Gets back up. Tried to center. No penalty on that play. Leno battles with Elias. But now it's Langenbrunner. And he will pop one out through center ice.
That's the fact that you have to mention that there's no penalty on the play is an indication of how many penalties there have been in this series.
Yeah, normally in the playoffs you don't even think of that as being a penalty, but it's been called that way in this series, and both teams have had ample opportunities with a bad advantage, but just one each in this first period. The Flyers scored on there. Here's Zubris moving on up. Turns with it. Back out. Andy Green flipping one. Save Boucher. The rebound. Tipped around. Martin gets to it. Backhand save. Boucher. He covers. And Carcillo a little slow getting up, but Brian Boucher took care of matters in front. And the Flyers are still on top.
Well, we looked at a couple of good plays by JVR, James Van Riemsdyk. And, you know, Van Riemsdyk, well, he might have had a little bit of a tough time when he was first drafted by the Philadelphia Flyers. Let's take a look at where he is originally from. Oh, that's kind of tight. Like, which way would you go? Are you a Devils fan or are you a Flyers fan? But James Van Riemsdyk, obviously his family's here. I asked him how many tickets did he have to go for tonight. He said, guys, I got lucky today. My dad got a suite.
All taken care of.
He's only had the nickname JVR for a couple of years. His dad liked it so much, he nicknamed JVR's brother Trevor TVR and his other brother Brendan BVR. And I think that would make JVR's dad Franz FVR.
I believe so.
What were you doing today?
Me?
Yeah.
I was just making stuff up. Oh, JVR told me that story in November. He said his brothers are now TVR and BVR.
What's your middle name, Bill?
Yeah, we're going to have to work on that between periods.
There's Betts getting the puck to the point, kept in by the Devils. Rob Niedermeyer. You know, you get these playoff series, 5, 6, 7 games against the same team, and you can do research like that, right, Bill?
Track research, baby.
Colin White getting a piece of Darryl Powell. White is one of the leaders in hits throughout this series. And Perrin cutting the puck off for the Flyers at his own line. The long pass to Leno. Leno will backhand into the Devils zone. Hartnell has checked the puck back up the wall. Leno digs for it. Got it back to Hartnell. Now Hartnell tried to twist that one around behind the net for Briere. It was cut off. Bounces high in the air. Hartnell is tied up. And finally it'll roll to Martin. Martin looks to swerve up the ice. His pass for Green. And then Hartnell went after Green, but it was Scott Hartnell who took a seat right in front of the Devils bench. As the puck goes into the Philadelphia zone, they scrum for it. Bounces free right to Briere. Carcillo off the bench, replacing Hartnell, takes the pass. Carcillo the shot. Oh, it went off of Brodeur and just wide. Carcillo nearly had his third in 3 games. It just glanced wide. He has Brodeur's number, perhaps.
Well, listen, the fact that he has scored makes him want to shoot every time he gets the puck. It's the way it is. You stop scoring, usually you stop shooting.
Now is Zubris slamming on the brakes. Angle it back through by Salvador at the point. Tips it along, hoping for Zach Parise. The Ottawa Senators jump to a 2-0 lead on the Pittsburgh Penguins as the Senators try to stave off elimination in Pittsburgh tonight.
What kind of lead is safe against the Penguins? That's the question.
The way they're scoring goals, you'll need more than a 2-goal lead, that's for sure. Sidney Crosby 11 points in the first 4 games of that series. We tick down to 7.5 minutes remaining in the first period. Game 5 of this series, and it's Zajac tipping into the Philadelphia zone. Carl beat him to the puck, got to Pronger, quickly along, but right there is Colin White. Quick shot, stick save Boucher. Zajac knocks the puck down behind the net. Zajac centering all the way across. It was an aerial that had Motto ducking out of the way, and Carcillo will clear the zone. Motto to it now. And his pass for White, who hammers it off the glass deep into the Philadelphia zone. Boucher did not play that one. Ralston Quickly checked. Barrier dropping it back to Carl, who reverses, hoping for either Pronger or Carcillo. It'll be Pronger. Off Carcillo, and then Martin to center ice. Carcillo got buried by Ralston for his trouble. But he made the play. Now Carcillo, with a burr under his saddle, goes after Martin and gets a penalty. This will not make Peter Laviolette happy. Here's Pelly moving in. The shot, save. Boucher gets steamrolled. That should be a penalty. I don't see the arm going up. Play is stopped. The original penalty on Carcillo, but looked as though the Devil ran right into the Flyer goaltender. But no call apparently on that. Just a New Jersey power play. Cross-checking the call on Carcillo. Boy.
Dan Carcillo was pretty well gassed. He got stuck out there because he's the left winger, and that means he's on the far side of the ice. But when he got hit, he just wanted a pound of flesh.
Well, it seemed like the cross-check has become the penalty du jour. Boy, we've seen a lot of those, and that wasn't really much of a cross-check, but obviously went right after him. And you see right there, as Jimmy had mentioned, Boucher did get run into, but no call. But there it's once again. The first one, okay, maybe he's upset that he got hit. But, you know, anytime you go back and you retaliate, the referee's looking for that retaliation. And he did get caught.
I think you know what? Got penalized for intent there.
I absolutely agree with that. I mean, you know, when you start taking those real quick strides, looking like you've got a bullseye on somebody and you've locked onto them, the refs factor that in. The truth is, Dan Carcillo hardly made any contact with Paul Martin, but it looked like he was skating towards him to take his head off.
I mean, I even had in the call. I thought he was going to try to do that, and you're exactly right there. You saw the numbers, so the Devils with a chance to tie this game with their second power play. And they'll move it back to the point. Ralston, Parise, and now Ralston for Kovalchuk. Ralston, who scored the 2 power play goals in Game 3. Kovalchuk with a pass that's tipped by Timonen. Elias, the legged runner, out to Ralston for the shot, deflected off Pronger and went just wide. Pronger with a shot block, and he got just enough of it. Kovalchuk, Elias, he couldn't control, and then Ralston fired it to the boards. Timonen gets to it, takes the hit to make the play. Devils right back on it though. Here's Elias, his pass deflected. Skitters on through to Parise. Parise fanning on his pass, and that's accepted by Giroux, who clears.
For the first half of this power play, the Devils had Kovalchuk and Brian Ralston reversed on the blue line, not the sides they wanted to be on for the one-timers. Nice advantage for the Flyers.
Now Kovalchuk, who often spends the entire 2 minutes of a power play out there on the ice. His pass back to Martin. And now it's Kovalchuk, one-timer, and fought off by Boucher. That had a lot of mustard on it. Boucher just stood his ground, and the Flyers clear all the way down.
And the ref was just asking Brian Boucher if he was all right. He reacted slowly after he got hit, almost like he was in pain, and the ref just had a little conversation with him. I think Boucher gave him the thumbs up.
Zajac centering shot. Clarkson, and Boucher's all right as he makes the arm save, and here's the Boucher chant from some of the Flyer fans in attendance here in Newark.
Brian Boucher's still having kind of a dialogue on the goal with the ref that's down at that end of the ice. I don't think he's complaining about anything.
Puck comes his way again, and he'll keep it in play to Pronger. For Hartnell, who stumps. And the Devils able to get to the puck. Motto is shot, blocked, bounces into the slot. Weir got a piece of it. And then Motto fires another one that's blocked off by Timonen. Flyers are back to full strength. They kill off the Carcillo minor. Colin White, a shot here deflected and dribbles wide. Timonen able to move the puck to Ville Leno, and he's going to skate it up. Leno in the middle, just out of the reach of Briere. And the puck bounces back to the Philadelphia line. McCammon is there. He'll send it in. We're watching the playoffs, and there have been players, Bill, coming into the lineups for different teams because of injury or coach's decision, and I've noticed a lot of them struggling with the pace. Ville Leno is not struggling with the pace at all.
Not even close. And Peter Laviolette's liking what he's seeing because he's getting him out there a lot. He's had a bunch of ice in this period.
Langenbrunner a pass ahead. Now Parise and Elias, and he's denied by Boucher, who covers up. Brian Boucher, very good here in period number 1, and the Flyers have the 1-0.
1-0. The Flyers lead the New Jersey Devils on the strength of Denny Briere's goal. 3:40 remaining, and I see that Mr. Boucher has gone over to the bench to be able to get a little repair to his mask. It appeared like a pad inside the mask came loose, and Derek Settlemeyer, the equipment manager of the Philadelphia Flyers, came flying out of the locker room to put that back together. Boucher has been absolutely spectacular, and as I mentioned earlier, he is so confident and he's so technically sound. He's anticipating everything, he's in front of everything, and then he's not allowing any rebounds, and that's been a big key. And I got to give another plus, like you did, Billy, to the defensive work of all 5 people in the zone in front of him. They've done a great job.
Shots relatively even. This might be the hardest Boucher has had to work within one period in this series, with maybe the exception of game 2 in the late second period, early third period stages, but he's seen quite a bit of rubber.
Well, it's been big, hard, fast as well. A lot of Kovalchuk blasts coming his way, so there have been some 100-mile-an-hour shots, a lot of them in this period. He's made good saves and been busy, but they haven't all been rockets in the past.
Here is Dean McCammon. The pass that Clarkson handles, flips along, but it's cut off by Carl. Carcillo able to one-hand it to the neutral zone. Back it goes to Paul Martin. And he'll blast one that is snared by Boucher, and he'll squeeze it. Gives us a chance to tell you about tonight's Jeep trivia question of the game. Who, or I should say what, was the first year the Flyers went up 3-1 after the first 4 games of a playoff series? 67, 74, 1980. Those are your 3 choices. There's some hints I could give, but I'm not going to do that, Bill, because I ought to give it away.
I don't know the answer to that. I do know the answer to that?
No? No? Maybe you should. Broken stick off the draw for Rob Niedermeyer. He goes back to the Devils bench, gets the new twig, and now the Flyers move up as Betts will backhand in. Brodeur didn't handle it cleanly. And an arm up now for Marc Jeanette. Something has happened in center ice. High sticking appears to be the call, as Ian LaPerriere has been clipped. See if he's bleeding. Whether this is a 2 or a 4.
He's begging his forehead to bleed right now. Come on, baby, bleed.
Minor penalty for eye sticking.
So it's only going to be a minor. That's on Blair Betts, actually, that play. There's Ian LaPerriere. Oh, yeah, the stick came right around from Ron Pelly and caught him right in the forehead. That should have bled.
Yeah. That was some serious contact there.
Might have hit him perfectly flat right across the forehead underneath the lip of the helmet.
He does have some scar tissue there that evidently holds up well to those shots, as he did not bleed at all. There are the numbers. The Flyers power play at 26.1 coming in. They've already, of course, scored on the power play, so his numbers even better. As Richards will wrist one, and that's batted away by Brodeur, then taken by Elias. He'll move up with it, 2-on-2 with Langenbrunner, and then flip one. Glances off of Boucher and went just wide. Devils do have a shorthanded goal in this series.
Yeah, it's the only issue. When you got Chris Pronger in front, as he was on that last shift, and Mike Richards on the back, they kind of switched. The Devils break out even on a 2-on-2. It's kind of a scene Mike Richards is not all that familiar with. Chris Pronger back check like crazy to get back on the play.
Teaming in for Briere, went off his skate. Salvador trying to clear, won't be able to. Giroux knocked down, but still got the puck back to Timonen. Sends it in along the wall, hoping for Briere. He got bumped a little by Brodeur, and then another Devil got to the play, so he really couldn't get to that puck. It bounces around behind the net. Salvador will send it to Zajac. He's going to skate the puck up. And now the pass attempt for Parise, who gets behind Coburn, but did not get past the stick of Brian Boucher. Boucher goes out with a poke check and knocks it away. Now Leno the other way. Leno zigs into the slot, still looking for that puck. Van Riemsdyk there, and his shot took off and found glass. Billy Leno is very shifty. Now he gets down low and is denied by Brodeur at the side of the net, and broke his stick, did Leno, on that shot attempt, as the puck is cleared.
Not only is Billy Leno shifty, but he seems to have that rubber magnet on the end of his stick. I mean, the puck just stays with him.
Here's Scott Hartnell. Moves the puck in. Brodeur off the glass, trying to keep it in from his knees is Carl, and he does. Gets back up, plays it with his stick, but then is surrounded by Devils, who finally push the puck to the neutral zone. Final 5 seconds of the power play. Final 46 seconds of the first period. This is Krajicek. Off the stick of Leno, and a little too much air underneath that one. It goes into the safety face off. Will be out in center ice.
Well, this is a confident play by Brian Boucher. Watch him with the poke check, reading that Zach Parise had made up his mind to cut in front. I wondered if Brian Boucher perhaps should have come out and raced Parise for that one. I've learned pretty quickly in the last couple of weeks, don't second guess Brian Boucher, not the way he's been playing.
He has been absolutely tremendous in this first period. He's been great the whole series, but I'm going to say I think this is his best period of the series. Perrier moving the puck in, puts it around behind the net. Dug free, power shot, save Brodeur, and the Devils get to it with 23 seconds remaining in the period. Pronger breaks that rush up, and then LaPerriere finishes off Rob Niedermeyer, and here's Powell with it. Powell takes a heavy hit from Zubris. Boy, how strong for a little guy, though. He just powered through and got some help and did get that puck deep into the Devils' zone. Flyers would have had too many men on the ice if they had played that, so they let it go all the way down as the final seconds tick off the first period clock. Danny Briere on the power play gave the Flyers the early lead, and then Brian Boucher kept them in front with some tremendous goaltending. Flyers ahead of Brodeur, and the Devils 1-0 through 20 minutes. Tonight's Flyers-Devils first period was brought to you by McDonald's. Get a small premium roast coffee for 89 cents and a medium for just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Also brought to you by Kia Motors. Kia, the power to surprise. Our menu for the first intermission will break this game down, including sending it back to the guys in Philadelphia, Barkan, and the gang, and we'll have plenty of highlights and analysis. Right now, though, it's Steve Coates with Danny Briere.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. And when you lose two players like Carter and Gagne, obviously everybody's looking around the room and saying, hey, we all got to pick it up. And, boy, you got to be really pleased the way this hockey club played in the first period.
Definitely. We came out, we were aggressive. We played with intensity. We didn't sit back. That was a little bit of my worry that we were going to come out and let them dictate, and then we didn't do that at all, so it's a good sign.
How about the goal? Because I always like when you're outside the pipe, but your position was perfect.
Well, it's a great play by Mike Richards coming in the zone, because it would have been easy for him to just get rid of the puck or put it behind the net, but he found Claude streaming down, and what a spin. Playing with Claude, you have to expect those kinds of passes, and I was trying to find the open hole and try to be ready just in case it comes, and it did.
Danny, thanks very much.
Thanks, Coatsy.
Back up to you, Jimmy.
All right, Coatsy, always be ready. Claude Giroux will find you. He found Briere, and as a result, the Flyers on top after one. Back in a moment. This portion of Flyers hockey on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Chevrolet and your local Chevy dealers. Danny Briere's power play tally, the only goal of period number one. Flyers with the one-goal advantage through 20 minutes. Welcome back. And Bill, Danny Briere, the story offensively, but defensively, the Flyers doing a good job, of course, as a unit. But Brian Boucher, we have to talk about him because he was busy at times in that first period, made some big stops.
Yeah, and it's so interesting to watch Brian Boucher play now when you think of where he was 3 weeks ago. But when things weren't going his way, all Brian Boucher said to himself was, I need to continue to try as hard as I can and just to play as well as I can. And if I can look in the mirror and say that at the end of the day, then I'm okay with it. And that's how really he built up the foundation of turning his game around. And I think the most important thing to note when you watch Brian Boucher is that the when-to factor is such a big part of the confidence. When-to meaning, well, when you get aggressive, like this with the stick on Zach Parise, when you come out and cut down the angle. A confident Boucher reads the play extremely well, and that's what he's doing now.
His regular season numbers paling in comparison to his numbers here in the playoffs, and Bush will tell you that's because I'm playing every day, and I know I'm going to play, and he's gaining confidence.
And his decision-making is just second to none. I haven't seen Brian Boucher in this playoff series, or for that matter, the last few games of the regular season, waste any energy. And the only time goalies waste energy is, not the only time, but very often, it's when they make an incorrect decision and have to make an unbelievable adjustment to get back to where they need to be. Brian hasn't had to do that, and he's getting good support out in front, but I agree with you. These are the toughest tests he's faced in the playoffs so far because they were just rockets that were launched at him in the first.
And he repelled each and every one of them, and as a result, the Flyers with a lead through one. And they had the lead on this goal from Danny Briere. Michael Barkan, Rick Tocchet, Al Morganti with you after this.
1-0 Flyers after one as we welcome you to our first intermission report. Al Morganti, Rick Tocchet, Michael Barkan. We also welcome in those watching in the arena here. We'll show them a little bit later on, but that first goal, 3:16 in, a power play goal, set up by somebody's standout star. I don't know who that might be, but they look good on two facets. One, they're all over the ice. They're beating everybody to pucks. They're winning faceoffs, and Brian Boucher looks like Marty Brodeur. Al?
Right, he's been terrific in this period, and I think for me, the fact that the Flyers came out and played aggressively with the players out of their lineup, I'm starting to think maybe they'll go 1-2-2, kind of like back off. Nope, came right out, went right at the Devils and paid off.
Yeah, you know, the best thing about I love on the goal is Giroux, even before he makes the pass, he knows in his peripheral vision that he's got Briere on the other side. And if you look, great play by Richards, and that's just on his tape in the net. I mean, all around a great play. Richards obviously getting the play to Giroux, and then obviously Danny Briere finishing, who's scored a lot of big goals in his playoff career.
Yeah.
Right here, I love this little spinorama on the, you know, to be a goal scorer. I mean, Danny wasn't perfectly on his tape, but he had to take it off his skate and then put it in. So big goal for a short-handed Flyer team.
Give us the difficulty percentage on that, because as you said, not only does he play it off his skate, switches to the backhand, and Brodeur gets just a small piece of it, but it's not enough.
Well, you know, that's a goal scorer doing that. I mean, it went off his skate, and he had the hands to shoot. It didn't go off, you know, didn't bounce over his skate or his stick. You know, Danny's scored a lot of goals in his career. Because of those hands, he can get those types of goals.
Listen to the folks here watching in the arena on Arena Vision. The Flyers invited him in. You want to come on down? Come on down. And here's their reaction as Danny Briere scored the first goal. You know, I know they're watching on that big screen and everything, so let me just say, people of the arena, I'm going to send Toc and Al in there right now. They're like coming out.
Sounds like that up in Jersey, too. Yeah, the boost chants up there was terrific.
Yeah, so expectations now for the second period, because it's rare for the Flyers to get a 1-0 lead in this series, certainly.
Well, you would think the Devils would reach a level now where, I mean, they had some shots there. Parisi missed an open net early, but you would think they realized, look, everything's on the line here. We have to go right at them. But I think Boucher be right equal to it.
Yeah, the danger is that the Devils are going to keep pressing because Boucher's playing so well. Maybe the Flyers get a 2-on-1 break or an odd-man rush.
All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back a little bit later on. Certainly, we'll stay with you on CSNPhilly.com. That's right now.
Tonight's second period from the Prudential Center is brought to you by Acura, Advance, and by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you. There's the scoring summary. Danny Briere from Giroux and Richards on the power play, giving the Flyers the 1-0 lead that they take into period number 2.
7 power play goals for the Flyers now in the playoffs. Only the Los Angeles Kings have more in that department.
So we're underway. And the second stanza as Giroux chips the puck into the Devils zone. Five-a-side hockey. We'll get this period underway, and Martin misfiring with that pass. It goes all the way down the ice, so it's icing as Pronger touches up. What do you have, Coatsy?
Well, a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to talk about in a little bit is what happened to Brian Boucher. Remember we talked about he was working on his mask. Well, let me show you what happened. Take a look at that. You can see how the metal has been pushed in where he took the shot. That's what they were doing, is giving him the brand new mask. And that just shows you how dangerous it is and what it was like prior to masks being invented for goalies in the National Hockey League. So thank you, Jacques Plante.
There you go.
Thank you, Titanium.
Giroux centering that one for Carcillo. He broke his stick going after it. He's still got both ends of his stick in opposite gloves. He goes over to the bench, and he's just going to leave the ice surface. Is Carcillo as the Devils clear the puck out to center. And Zajac will drop it back.
That last pass by the Devils intended for Ilya Kovalchuk, and Braden Coburn standing him up. Now here's Kovalchuk.
Weaving his way in, centering, could not be handled by Langenbrunner. Poked free by Zajac, but Powell is there to clear it up and out. Now Betts hoping for LaPerriere. Skula got in the way, and the Devils regain.
Now they want to stay, the Flyers do, right in Ilya Kovalchuk's face whenever they can. That's step number 1 to denying time and speed and space. Squeeze him from behind too with the back check when they can.
Kovalchuk 3 shots on goal in that first period. Icing the call here. And the face-off all the way back down into the Devils' zone.
2 icings for the Devils right away to start the second period. Indication the Flyers are putting on good pressure and not giving the puck carriers for the Devils many options to get the puck up the ice.
And that's one of the things that Joey Mullen said between periods, the assistant coach of the Philadelphia Flyers. They want to do exactly what you just said, Billy. On top of that, they want to keep getting that puck deep, because the farther it comes down, that means the farther the Devils have to come back up. They want to make them work. They want to get them tired. And so far, it's worked.
Kovalchuk was asked if he was wondering what it would be like to be possibly in his last game with the Devils. He's a free agent at the end of the year, and he, of course, said this isn't going to be the last game. Devils are going to win. Not quite Mark Messier guaranteeing a...
Well, it ended that interview.
There you go. As Boucher grabs that one off the deflection and hangs on.
Ilya Kovalchuk turned down a $101 million contract offer from the Atlanta Thrashers. That is why they dealt him. There are some reports that the KHL, the Continental Hockey League over in Russia, is prepared to offer Kovalchuk $10 million a year over a 10-year deal. Quick math. I think that's $120 million.
Actually, as the numbers get that high, I can't relate. Anyhow, as the puck bounces to the corner, I know you can't, Bill. Big bucks that you earn as Brian Ralston turns with the puck in the corner.
Actually, my math was way off there. 12-year deal on $10 million a year.
There's White shot. It went off a couple bodies and just squeezes wide of the Philadelphia net. Hartnell moving up, cross ice, Krajicek ahead for Leno. Saw the hit coming, so just twisted the puck into the Devils' zone. And Mike Motto goes and gets it.
Pretty good vision by Ville Leno. He's lined up. And Ville Leno sees the ice well when he has the puck. I mean, that's one of the reasons he's such a creative offensive player. Hasn't put up big numbers here in the couple of years that he's been in North American hockey in the minors and in the NHL, but he lit it up in the Finnish Elite League before coming over.
He certainly did. As Coburn takes the puck right there. I mean, that's a good league, and he had 77 points in 55 games. He's finally there. Asham trying to center that one. Ripped away. Maybe it's just our angle here. I thought the dump in by the Flyers actually had cracked a glass in the Devils zone, but they're playing on. Appears to be okay. As Niedermeyer checked by Richards, who takes the puck away. And the Flyers captain starts up for Aaron Asham, who winds and blasts that one off of Salvador, and he's gimpy. That one stung him. Now Asham centering, and Richards unable to hammer that home. Turning with it is Dinas Zubris, and he rumbles out to center. Zubris pushing it in on the left wing, goes and gets it. Centered, but the Flyers are in good shape there. And Richards play it up and out of the zone. Just over 3 minutes into this second period. Still 1-0. Shots are still 10-9. We have not had a shot on goal as yet here in this second period of play. Brodeur deals to Green. Andy Green's pass tipped by Richards, but gathered by Martin, who lays it ahead for Zajac. Dropping it back. Kovalchuk cutting to the middle. Bumped. Shot. Save. Boucher. Zubris buried as he took the shot. Boucher with the save. There will be a penalty, though. A hooking minor indicated. And Zubris stung as he really was run into with authority there.
I think this might be David Laliberte with the one-hand reach.
Philadelphia number 9, minor penalty for hooking.
Ilya Kovalchuk gave him a 90-degree turn, and Laliberte reached out for him.
Well, Kovalchuk's going to get hit. And right there you see, it's actually as Zubris falls. Watch as he falls to the ice. After he spins, he's going to catch it right in the head. The left knee. I didn't even get the number of the Flyer player, but it was so quick. He just caught him right in the head, and he was stung pretty good. Stayed on the ice for a bit, but finally got back to the bench.
It is Laliberte in the penalty box for the Flyers with the hooking minor. So the Devils with power play number 3. White for Elias could not come up with it. That's over, but digging it off the wall is Kovalchuk. Flipping one, save Boucher. Couple chops down low, and that will certainly bring a lot of attention as Colin White is down there Trying to chop that one free from Boucher, trying to be a Chris Pronger, I guess, in front to Coetzee, but Boucher was able to hold his ground.
Well, Colin White's going to pick up the initial penalty, and Pronger turned right away, and he said to Mark Jeanette, what about that? What about that? But on top of that, it looks like Perrier's going to go too. So it's going to be equal. But boy, Pronger was right off the bat yelling and trying to get the referee on his side.
Sure, because Chris Pronger came in to clear out traffic. I mean, Brian Boucher looked like a pincushion. He was just getting hammered. And when Chris Pronger came in to clear out traffic in front, it looked like he took a straight punch to the face, didn't he, Coetzee?
He did. Watch this. Watch Colin White look up, then watch. Here comes the punch right there.
Yeah. That's what I thought was going to get called. And it was Kimmo Timonen that came in to move traffic, move Colin White. How many whacks are you allowed to take at a goalie that's already smothered the puck?
Well, Colin White got those whacks at Boucher, and then an old punch to Chris Pronger. He did get penalized, and now we look up on the clock. Well, they momentarily put 2 minutes up on the Devils as if maybe White had gotten 2 minors, but
what, it's return of Pinata Man.
I believe he did get an extra 2 because it's a 4-on-4 now. They haven't announced the penalties as yet, but
remember, it was Colin White that was all over Claude Giroux in Game 2 right here in Newark. I started calling Claude Giroux the pinata. Well, that time Brian Boucher was the pinata for Colin White.
Colin White does get 2 and 2.
Well, that's right.
And 2 on LaPerriere. So the power play is over. They saw it correctly. Billy gave him slashing. That was what he did to Boucher. And then roughing on Pronger. Here's Kovalchuk dancing in. Everything but the finish. Couldn't get the shot off. And now Green back to Kovalchuk. 4 skaters aside. He flips one. That's blocked in front. Martin got it back out in front. Diving was Boucher. It caught the post and it stayed out. And now another penalty. Now the penalty fest is underway. Holding will be the call here, and it'll now be 4-on-3 for the Devils.
Philadelphia, number 48, minor penalty for holding.
Danny Briere goes. An anxious moment, though, for Brian Boucher. When Elias dumped it in front, and Danny Briere was there to save it just before it went across the line.
Well, Danny Briere's going to go from the penthouse to the outhouse because he made a great play there to be able to prevent that puck. You see Zajac right there, open net, and right there Briere gets his stick in front of Zajac's, but then as the puck went along the wall, he got a little bit too aggressive and picks up the holding call.
And a 4-on-3 power play for 40 seconds from here for the Devils. So much ice to work with. They say that play is onside as Kovalchuk got the puck in the zone. Flyers get to it, but Elias able to maneuver it back to Kovalchuk. He'll flip to Ralston. A cross-ice one-time shot, Elias, and he missed by a good margin. Back out to Kovalchuk. Flyers get a man back in 22 seconds. Ralston with a pass to Elias. Parise is right in front of the goalie. The shot blocked by Betts. Kovalchuk turns toward the net. Takes the shot. Blocked by Betts. Rebound in front. Save Boucher on the rebound. Hit the post. Oh. And the rebound is loose. Betts doesn't have a stick. Oh. He gloves it to the wall. Stays in. Here's Ralston. Down low. Elias. Back out Ralston. Across Kovalchuk. Laliberte's out of the box. Shot. Save Boucher. He robs Ralston and hangs on. And again, some serious pushing and shoving.
Listen, Kimmo Timonen has seen enough of guys in the pinata routine because Brian Boucher clearly had that puck smothered and Patrick Elias was whacking away.
Well, one penalty at least has been called.
But at some point, those have to be called, do they not? Colin White did it in an exchange earlier, and that might have been one of the penalties. But watch this. After a tremendous exchange, well, those are just some of the saves Brian Boucher made that were outstanding. That hit post, too. He got a little help from his friend to the left.
Well, after it hits the pipe, and you had mentioned about Elias and Kimmo Timonen going at it, both referees decide, okay, they're going to take both these guys. But look at Parise. He just can't believe it. You got the pipe on the one side, the Briere saved on the right of Boucher. Now you come back to the left. So Elias and Timonen will go to the box.
5:52. The time is getting quite crowded in the Flyers penalty bench area.
I'd say normally that the Flyers would take that exchange, that trade-off to get Elias in the penalty box because he's such a tremendous power play specialist. But Kimmo Timonen has been so good on the PK. think I still like it. The Flyers have enough defensemen that they can rotate to kill penalties. You get Elias off the ice.
It's 4-on-4 for the next 24 seconds. Then the Devils go back to the power play for roughly 40 seconds, 42 seconds. Unless, of course, there are other calls, which is a distinct possibility. This one has gotten very nasty. Here's Chris Pronger with the puck. He'll hang right on to it. Flyers ideally would like to have the puck all the way down at the other end of the ice. And the Devils get a player back. Carl sends that one over the middle. Richards reaching for it. Richards checked by Martin. The Devils take over, and as they head up ice, they'll go right back to the power play. Here's Zubris. In across the line, working wide, dumped by Pronger. Crowd wants a penalty there, and they're not going to get it. Giroux will turn with it, and his pass is on the tape to Richards. He'll skate it up slowly, waste as much time as he can, and then try to use the defenseman as a screen, but Green blocked the shot. 28 seconds of power play time for the Devils as Parisi penetrates the Philadelphia zone. Belted deep. Aaron sent it back up the wall, but there's Martin. Across for Kovalchuk. His pass is Zubris, back out to Martin. He urged to shoot. Instead, the pass. It's tipped and it goes out of play off the stick of Powell.
Time to bend without breaking. And the way Brian Boucher has played over the last couple of weeks, that has been a pretty common theme when the Flyers are down a man on the PK. The Devils in this series have 4 power play goals.
Just 9 seconds to work with on this particular power play. They do win the draw. Green, cross ice. Otto back to Green. Flips one, blocked off. They've blocked so many shots, the Flyers. That was Coburn getting in the way. Betts flipping it out, hoping for Briere to the box. But the play is called on an offside. Just over 7 minutes into period number 2.
Well, we take a look at Jeff Carter, and he's probably just sitting here and saying what it could have been, coming off of an initial broken foot. He missed 8 games and got back into it, got into the swing of things. Then he'll take this shot. The puck will come from the point. Pronger's going to take the shot, but it catches Carter on the other foot, not the foot that was originally broken. This is the other one. And you can see him kind of grimace just a little bit. Goes back to the bench, took another shift after that, did the interview with me after the game, and then they found out he had broken his foot.
He did say in the interview with you that it didn't feel all that good. He actually, when he was meeting with reporters later on, didn't give them any indication that he was in any kind of pain. He was a little more upfront with Coates.
I broke that bone when I played, and believe me, if you think that it just hurts a bit when your skate is on, you should feel it when the skate comes off.
There's Billy Leno, a shot blocked. He's back after it. Kept it alive to the quarter. Daddy Briere there. And he is checked, and the Devils will move it back to center ice. So we get a look at some 5-on-5 hockey here. Haven't seen all that much of it in this second period. Flyers still looking for their first shot on goal of this second period. That one's redirected into the Devils zone. Kovalchuk checked by Powell, got to the Philadelphia line, but that was it. Krychek stopped him. Powell moving up, Wines fires, and that's gloved by Brodeur. May have been going wide, but Marty decided to snag it.
Want to remind everybody again that if necessary, there will be a Game 6 in Philadelphia on Sunday. We can't tell you the start time due to national TV considerations. That'll have to wait till tomorrow. We'll know by the end of this game whether or not there will be a Game 6. The lower level seats are still available. 800-298-4200 or visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
Face off here will be to the left of Martin Brodeur. Jack tossed. Zubris will step in against Claude Giroux. Faceoffs have been strange in this series. Back and forth. Teams taking turns dominating from one game to the next. And Riemsdyk checked hard behind the net. Giroux is there. Ready to fight off the checking of Zubris. Got it back down low. Here's Van Riemsdyk. Upended by Green and Brodeur as Brodeur came swinging around with his stick, but no call. And a 3-on-2 developing the other way. Parise. Good read by Matt Carles. He stepped up and gave Parise no time to make a play. Zubris and Parise trying to do their thing along the wall. Now here's Skula. Back behind the net. Parise centering. It's butted off a stick toward the corner. Zajac got that Carl. That Carl has his stick in his hands as the puck goes into the slot and Pronger cuts it off. And we'll look for of Asham and Riemsdyk, but it's tipped away. In center ice, Asham with a couple of Devils. And finally it bounces back to Pronger. To Matt Carl. As we hit the 9-minute mark of this second period. Ed Carcillo, he'll shovel one into the Devil zone. Off Brodeur's stick to the corner. Liberté sends it around to the other corner. Carcillo takes a hit from Elias. Puck still in their skates. Works free, and Salvador will twist it to the other corner. Timonen comes barreling in after it. The Flyers defenseman still activated here. Not sitting back. Coburn up on the play as well, but that one slides past him and all the way down. Mike Richards will go get it. Devils change. Salvador rams into Carcillo. Well away from the play in center ice as the puck is dumped into the Devils zone. Motto. And for Green. Green hands off to Rod Pelly. The Ohio State product dumps it in, and the Devils chase. Parent thrown to the glass. Devils come up with it. Clarkson back to Green at the point. Cross ice. Motto backhands it in the slot. Read beautifully by Parent, but then he bats the puck, and that's kept into the slot for Pelly, but he could not get a shot off, and Parent will maneuver it ahead to Laliberte. And he'll push it to the Devils line, and then all the way deep into the New Jersey zone and head off on a change. Pelly will redirect that to center, but it's cut off by Krychek, and he'll flutter one to the right of Brodeur. We passed the midpoint of regulation time in this hockey game. Still 1-0 Philadelphia. Sent in by Carl, and Motto is back for it. Territory very tough to get here in this second period. Both teams checking with vigor. Here's Kovalchuk. I'll just send that one in. Boucher turns it over to Zubris. Zubris will stuff that around to the other side. Pronger using that reach to poke it ahead. Briere trying to get it back to Pronger. It goes instead to Carl. And his pass looking for Briere, but sails past him. Skula will go back. Briere on his tail. Skula grabbed a hold of Briere's stick, and Briere wanted a penalty call there. Is not going to get it. And now here's Martin. Chance for the crowd. He got a lot of byplay there with definite Philadelphia influence. And now here's a steal. Betts moving up. Betts with power. Betts the shot. Save Brodeur. First shot of the period for the Flyers. Brodeur says no. And now here's Elias. They'll drop it back. Paul Martin. A quick pass to Skula. From the red line, he'll wind it into the Philadelphia zone. Langenbrunner trying to center. Right there was Zajac, but Coburn took care of him, and the Flyers move it out. Giroux to Richards. Richards with speed. 3-on-2 developing. Richards on the right wing. And his shot blocked. Second try. Got it into the slot. Bounces back up. Shot off the crossbars and in. Giroux took the shot. Referee has not signaled goal. Flyers are celebrating as if it's a goal. The red light did not go on.
I will tell you that while it looked like it didn't go in, it sounded to me like it went in. The crossbar makes a completely different sound than the hoop at the top of the net that holds the mesh of the netting on. This would be interesting to see.
Clearly look at this one. Oh, it
went in.
Clearly in.
It made that sound. That metal at the top inside makes a completely different sound.
And so we can say, as they look at it clearly in off the net, that Claude Giroux has scored for a case of tasty cakes.
There you go.
It's 2-0 Philadelphia.
And it almost, I wonder if it even touched. I heard a clink. Could my ears have been deceiving me? Because that replay looks like it just went off the mesh. But
yeah,
this will count.
I don't know if it's possible if it hit off the crossbar and then the mesh, but I did hear some kind of clink as well.
Well, if you're only going to get a couple of shots in a period, you might as well make them quality shots. That one was a quality shot because he's just going to wind up. He's got two Devils, one going down to block it. Look at that's not even close. Not even a question. Send it back. We already know the answer. But he had one Devil down trying to block, and then you see the other Devil standing right in front. So Brodeur has no idea where that puck is, but that shot was an absolute rocket.
And the shock waves have just gone through the crowd here because on the big scoreboard, they've shown the replay.
The puck they've called across the goal line. We got a good goal.
So it is officially 2-0 Philadelphia. Look and listen. I think it is the sound that might have confused the referees. Clearly,
It's a clink as opposed to a ping.
clink.
I mean,
Not a ping.
The crossbar is it's a ping.
No doubt.
An automatic ping.
But the fact that it did make that kind of noise is what I think threw off the referee, who was standing right there but didn't see the puck go in the net, and it did come out in a hurry.
In a ref's defense, you're not going to see that.
Yeah, it came right back
If
up.
anything, that sound should have clued them into the fact that it did go in.
So it's a 2-0 game with less than 8 to play here in the second period. Powell for Pronger. And now it's Powell in the middle, nicely for Betts. Out to LaPerriere. And he'll just finesse that puck deep into the Devils zone. Nothing fancy for the Flyers, especially this line. In the middle of changing it up now as Giroux is out. Giroux, 2 points already, a goal and an assist. A lob pass for David Clarkson. Timonen tipped it away from him, and then Clarkson's angle drive deflected away. Giroux, are there 2 Claude Giroux? He's back out there, and there's a penalty upcoming. A penalty, Claude Giroux got back, and a stick got up
on Asham.
Aaron Asham shaken up. We'll tell you about the penalty when we come back. We can tell you right now, Claude Giroux, after further review, makes it 2-0 Philadelphia.
2-0, the Flyers lead the Devils with 7:21 remaining in the second period as we look at our 2 goal scorers. And, you know, the other night, Bill Clement said, you know what, Jeff Carter's going to break out of his slump. Well, I think that Mr. Clement talked about these 2 gentlemen earlier and said that they were going to be a key to tonight's game.
Well, thanks, Coachy, but I was just following Peter Laviolette's script because he said that he was going to beef up their ice time, and we know that Danny Briere and Claude Giroux can sure follow the script because you're right, Coachy. We talked about him in our open, and there is the stick that has gotten up on Aaron Asham, Dean McCammon, who went down. And this is a 4-minute power play for the Flyers. What an opportunity to really just about throw dirt on a big hole that the Devils find themselves in right now.
By the way, can you or Peter predict that I'm going to win the Powerball or the Mega Millions?
No, can't help you there.
So the Flyers up by 2 and a chance to increase that lead in a big way right here. Even in from the red line, winding it in. Brodeur couldn't knock it down. Bounces free. Devils all over that, and Motto will clear. Chris Pronger is back. And the Flyers start out. They have Leno with Richards and Laliberte up front. Timonen and Pronger in the back line, but the Flyers do not retrieve well there. And there's a pass for Ralston moving up, but he preceded the puck in across the blue line as Pronger did reach back and get a piece of it and made the play offside. Well, after the game, get the most extensive game breakdown with the expert analysis by former Flyer Rick Tocchet, Al Morganti, and Michael Barkan, plus exclusive team reactions on Flyers post-game live, presented by McDonald's after the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Flyers have done such a good job in the faceoff. JJ, you mentioned it earlier how it's kind of come and then left the Flyers at different times in the series. At one point a couple of minutes ago, the Flyers had won 18 and lost only 10. Mike Richards was 9-1 on the draws, and the Devils have not been able to come with any kind of forecheck, and the Flyers have been able to get out of their zone so easily when they possess the puck. So
Devils net knocked off its mooring. Originally, they pointed to the face-off circle to the left of Brodeur as they feel the Devils caused the net to come off. The Devils felt it was Scott Hartnell, but the Flyers will get the ruling they want here as the face-off will be in the offensive zone. See how they do with this draw. Claude Giroux against Patrick Elliott. And Giroux won it to Coburn. And now Briere winds up and fires. Save Brodeur. Rebound Giroux. He scores! Claude Giroux hammering home the rebound. Has his second of the night on the power play. And it's 3-0 Philadelphia. As Giroux scores again for a case of Tasty Cakes.
yeah, this is how you draw it up when you're practicing your power play. You have a screen in front. Number 19, Scott Hartnell. You have the puck on a shooter's stick, Danny Briere, after winning the faceoff. It goes over to Briere on the left. And then you outnumber people for rebounds. Claude Giroux there. Matt Carle was there. That's textbook.
Well, I love to be able to score about 20 like that a year, Billy. That puck hit right onto a stick. Mono, I don't know where Mono was going. Instead of electing to go to Giroux, he tried to kind of stay in between everybody. It didn't work that way. That puck came right to Giroux. He had a wide open net. And what you just said was about to happen. That is a backbreaker right there for the Philadelphia Flyers against the New Jersey Devils.
Coach, I'd like to get 20 a season like that myself. I would have liked it when I played, but I'm not sure either of us would have found ourselves on the power play.
I was good. You took the words out of my mouth.
That's right.
I know. I shouldn't speak for you. I wouldn't have been on the power play. You probably would have.
No, I wouldn't have been able to. I wouldn't have been there either. Don't worry. My stick wasn't that long.
Telescopic stick.
Timmy dumping the puck in as Briere will get that back out. And now here's Carl to Pronger. Scott Hartnell, by the way, nice play on that goal as well. He kept the puck alive after screening the goalie and probably will get an assist. As Carl takes the shot, batted down in front, may have hit Ville Leno. And now it's Parise the other way. Flyers on the power play still. The second part of the McCammon double minor. Minute remaining on it right now. Uh-oh, puck dug loose, shot! And Parise fired it high and wide. Flyers have to maintain the intensity. They're on the power play here, but Zach Parise giving notice right there. The Devils are not going to give up on this one. 25 minutes remaining in regulation time, so there's still a lot of hockey to play here. Richards hit across the Devils line. Stopped by White. And Carl will pick it up in the neutral zone. Cross for Coburn. Hartnell and Briere getting the assist on that goal by Giroux, his fourth of the series. I don't know exactly what the Flyers had in mind here. Coburn will send it back and make Boucher handle it. And now it's Coburn again. Just 15 seconds remaining in the power plays. Coburn starts up. His pass ahead. Van Riemsdyk circling. And he'll drop it back, and that will just about do it for the power play time. Devils will get back to full strength. Out of the box jumps McCammon. Des LaPerriere tips the puck into the New Jersey zone. Well, Martin is back for it. Circles and starts up. Headman's to a charging Zubris. Zubris swings wide. Soft shot sticked away by Boucher. It bounces free behind the net. Pelly back out to Martin. Cross ice it goes. Skula drops to Zubris. Long behind the net. Zubris changing direction. Knocked down by Timonen. Got it back to Martin. Martin harassed by Betts. There's a look and then gets it to the point. That's Zubris across for Skula. Skula setting it to the middle, cut off by LaPerriere, but kept in by McCammon. Across ice, Martin. Martin back to Skula. Devils with possession, almost as if they're on a power play here. The puck goes to Pelly. Turnaround shot off of Powell to the quarter boards. Penalty upcoming. They'll have a power play now. Delayed call against Philadelphia. Here's Kovalchuk. Brodeur doesn't realize it yet. Here's Kovalchuk. A shot save made by Boucher. As again, he denies Kovalchuk, but a cross-checking minor against Philadelphia. So a Devils power play when we come back.
Well, Krejcik's in the penalty box, and the Devils will have an opportunity. But let's take a look at our Wachovia great check of the game. And, boy, it's been a dandy. There's been some great hits, but this one here, Aaron Asham. And this has been pretty well the tale of the tape throughout the evening. First guy gets in, takes the body. Worry about everybody else after that. And Colin White was the recipient of our Wachovia great check of tonight's game. Aaron Asham, the giver.
Is Krejcik guilty of cross-checking, and so the Devils go to their fifth power play of the game. A chance to get on the board and try to give them something positive here toward the end of this second period.
Big kill here for the Flyers. This is a momentum power play, possibly for the Devils. It will work the other way if they don't get anything.
Kovalchuk shot bounced off a body as he didn't get all of it, and it bounced wide. Now across, Ralston. So Kovalchuk, his shot hit White in front. And then White dumps Timonen. No penalty. Zajac gets the puck. And back to the point it goes, Ralston. So the Devils have stolen a page from the Flyers book. They're employing Colin White down low on the power play. He's going to head off the ice now as they'll switch the forward line. Here's Kovalchuk gaining the Philadelphia line and winding it deep. Langenbrunner couldn't come up with it. Pronger tried to jab that one through, but it caught part of the net. Elias able to gather. Back toward the point. Tipped away from Kovalchuk out the center by Richards. Kovalchuk had to retreat. Now Ralston's pass intercepted by Richards, and he'll just sift that one back into the Devils zone. The Flyers get some fresh legs on the ice.
The natives have turned on the power play and on the Devils.
They're getting very restless as Kovalchuk finds Elias, but the play is offside.
Well, if you'd like to have a bunch of fun, how about this? Catch all the Flyers playoff action in a single event suite. Here's the neat thing. You get to pick the people that you sit beside. How about it? Great view of the ice, private restrooms, bar, great food, wait staff. Just call 215-389-9500 or visit mypremiumtix.com.
Great way to take in a game, and once again want to say hello to everyone watching at the AT&T Pavilion back at the Wachovia Center.
That's right.
Screens as
Steve Coates would like everybody to know that he is buying the next round for all of you.
How many people are there?
Boucher, in the meantime, making saves as he stopped the initial thrust, and then on the backhand, legged runner denied. And Brian Boucher just keeps coming up with answers to these Devils, and Coatsy, if he keeps playing like that, you might have to buy a round or two for the people back at the AT&T Pavilion.
Let's get straight. I have no problem buying anybody back there their favorite beverage.
Wait a minute. The answer to your question is 1,000.
1,000?
There are 1,000 people there.
Hold on. What are they drinking? 1,000.
This tune is changing.
I don't know how many
Zajac
people are there.
shot. Another save by Boucher through traffic. 18 seconds remaining on this power play. Here's Zajac banking it back to Green. And now it's Zajac holding on, looking things over. Back out Green, moves to the middle, and takes the wrist shot. Blocks. Couldn't get it past Powell and Richards, and Richards clears.
Just fantastic play by Mike Richards and Darryl Powell. They were kind of staggered, both in the shooting lane. I got a feeling there wasn't any daylight for Andy Green to get that through or between to get to Brian Boucher's doorstep.
Flyers have doubled the Devils in block shots in this game. They have 24 more blocks in this series than the Devils. Here's Rob Niedermeyer centering, loose puck bounces free. Flyers are back to full strength. Just want to finish this period strong now. Briere banking it deep into Devils ice. Odor will play it off the glass. It got past Coburn and all the way down into Philadelphia ice. Carl will get there. Ralston charging toward him. Now dropping it off for Coburn. Coburn ahead. Pittsburgh has come back to tie Ottawa at 2 as the Penguins try to move on to the second round. Zubris gains the Philadelphia line. Tried to flip it to himself in the middle. It came free and was steered wide by Niedermeyer. 20 seconds remaining in the period. Angle shot by Salvador was blocked. Kovalchuk tried to drop that one back. It's intercepted by Leno, and he'll chip it down the ice. Did he get too much on it? Oh, they're going to call it icing. As taking his time getting back for that one was Skula. 8 seconds remaining. An offensive zone draw for the Devils.
Oh, I thought Billy Leno had played that perfectly. Little draw weight, curling weight, just curl it all the way down to the end goal line. But again, this period, Brian Boucher has been called upon to make some key stops. And he's faced every challenge, made it look easy. And there's Aaron Asham back on the bench. He was missing for a while. He might have gone in for some repairs, maybe some stitches.
Big face-off here with just 8 seconds remaining. Richards goes down low, but Zajac got it back to Martin. Martin to the angle, backhand save Boucher, and then Carl swept the rebound to the corner. Another shot from the boards is blocked, and that's it for the second period. A late shove by Zubris on Richards. That gets Hartnell's attention.
Second game in a row that Dinas Zubris has delivered a late hit on Mike Richards, knowing that the time was going to just click off. Second or two left.
But the Flyers get 2 by Brodeur in the second and now lead 3-0. Tonight's Flyers Devils second period was brought to you by Suzuki and the amazing Kizashi Sports Sedan. Also brought to you by Metro PCS. Here's what's coming up between periods 2 and 3. We'll send it back to Philadelphia. Michael Barkett, Al Morganti, Rick Tocchet with their analysis of what's been a very good night for the Flyers thus far. Right now, downstairs we go. Steve Coates with Billy Leno.
Very much, Jimmy. And all of a sudden, you're thrown into a situation. Now, you've got playoff experience, obviously, with the Wings in the Stanley Cup Series. But what was it like all of a sudden to be thrown in tonight? Because you haven't looked out of place whatsoever.
Well, yeah, it's always you just want to play simple if you haven't played in a while, especially when you come into a place like this. But I just try to feel more comfortable, get back into the play.
One thing for sure, that this has been a complete team effort. The defensive zone especially, where you guys have just done a great job of smothering the Devils every time they have an opportunity.
Well, you want to come play a good road game here, and just want to play on the defensive side and start there, and then try to have some offense.
What's the key here? Now you got a 3-0 lead. What's the key here heading into the third period?
Just gotta play normally and just try to make plays and try to score and just play like normally, not get too passive, but on the same time you gotta be smarter on the blue line and on the both blue lines, and just make simple plays.
Billy Leno, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Back up to you, Jimmy.
All right, Coatsy. Billy Leno stepping in. Not a hitch here so far. Flyers by 3 after 2. We send it back to Philadelphia after these messages.
Intermission live. And, holy smokes. Would you have expected this? Al Morganti and Rick Tocchet. And the Flyers are all over this one. Let me tell you, it's all over seemingly. But the shouting as they're up 3-0 on a pair of Claude Giroux goals. Who had him as a standout star?
Oh, come on.
I don't know. That's not right to just keep doing that.
It's going to break your arm.
But that's what God knows you won't do it. No. But anyway, here's the first goal of the second period. Flyers up 1-0 going into the second. And Giroux, wham! And that was a laser.
It was an absolute laser. I mean, this kid's just, who's going to make up for the players out of the lineup? Wanted him to get more time anyway. But the key goals, the crucial goals, and this was it was so fast, nobody saw it till about 5 minutes later. But this kid's really shown up, and he's a huge difference maker.
A lot of guys, if you watch him shoot the puck, they just shoot it. He sees, I forget who went down on it to block the shot. He goes upstairs with it, at the last second. So not too many players can do that. I tell you, this kid has impressed me in this series. He ends up obviously getting the other goal, the third goal. He's got 3 points. Mike, I know he's your key
He's a
standout star.
Sometimes I just had a vision.
But he is definitely great.
He is, but the great part about this is that virtually every goal, even an individual effort like that, is set. Richards comes down the boards. It's everybody's involved in this. Their lines, even though they've been mixed and matched a bit, Richards has been terrific, terrific in this, and Giroux fed off a guy plowing down the boards.
Yeah, Bill Clement said they dug themselves a hole, the Devils, and they're just about to get it covered up, and that's what happened in the 3-0 goal, a power play goal, and again, Claude Giroux right on the doorstep, put it in.
The Flyers power play, this is a big goal. If the Devils score to get back in the game, and where is he? Right in front of the net. That's where you got to be. He's not afraid to get in traffic. And Scott Hartnell's in front too, kind of bothering Brodeur. I think it actually goes off him, and boom, it's in the net. So those are just big goals at right times against the Devils.
Watch right here. Looks like it goes through. It does, right through Motto's legs.
To his legs.
5-hole right there. All right, Flyers up 3-0. We'll take a timeout right here on Comcast Sportsnet, and we'll be back for third period action. But we'll also pause if you're watching on CSNPhilly.com, and we'll talk a little bit more about what the third period might look like.
There is your score through 2 periods of play at Prudential Center. The Flyers and the Devils. And the Flyers in very good position right now. Have to finish this one off, Bill Clement, but so far a total team effort from Brian Boucher on out.
Yeah, to the point where the Flyers, I think, have been so dominant in this game. The Devils look like a defeated team. Now, don't get me wrong. That can change very quickly if this crowd gets back into it and the Devils get one and start to develop some momentum in the third. But the greatest signal to me that the Flyers have dominated this hockey game is the Devils have hardly spent any time in the Flyers zone other than on power plays. The Flyers have moved the puck efficiently, crisply, powered people off the puck, supported the puck very well. That to me was a signal that the Flyers are just a stronger, more determined team in this game.
And special teams have been a very big part of the success for the Flyers in this series. Got things going again for them here tonight on the power play in period number 1.
Yeah, Claude Giroux with an excellent pass to Danny Briere, and Mike Richards made a good play on that one as well. And Claude Giroux in this second period was really presented with the opportunity to step up before the game began by Peter Laviolette. That was a goal that was reviewed, that was countered and in. His next shot was 1 minute and 59 seconds after the first goal that he scored in the second period, and he capitalized on that one. So often in an NHL season, and especially when it comes down to crunch time in the playoffs, coaches will talk about the great opportunities when players get injured, the opportunities for others to step up. More times than not, it doesn't happen. The guys don't step up. Claude Giroux has grabbed the opportunity. Dan Briere scored his second goal of the playoffs, and as a result, the Flyers are on the verge of advancing.
1 period away, perhaps. We'll see. Third period action approaching here in Newark. Tonight's third period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. And by your local Chevy dealers. Third period set to begin at Prudential Center. Danny Briere got the Flyers started. There's a goal and an assist in this game. Ryan Boucher has been tremendous, stopping all 18 shots that were fired his way. The Flyers, one good solid period away from advancing to the second round Stanley Cup playoffs. But you can bet the Devils are going to come at the Flyers with everything they have here in desperation mode. Pronger misfiring on that pass to start this third period, so as Green goes back, this is icing and an offensive zone draw for New Jersey.
You know, before this series started, Jacques Lemaire, the head coach of the Devils, said about Chris Pronger, said, I don't know what it takes to wear him down. And then the implication there was that he'd never seen him wear down. And Jacques Lemaire said about Pronger, he compared him to the great Devils defenseman Scott Stevens. He said he ratchets it up this time of year, and there is little waste in his game. And I thought, boy, that's Chris Pronger.
Salvador looking for Langenrunner, broken up the long reach of Pronger, and now it's Richards going the other way, and he'll send it in. He's played nearly half of the hockey game in each of the first 4 games of this series, averaging nearly 30 minutes a game, and yet he never seems taxed because of the fact that he plays angles so well. And what Jock just said about him, I mean, it's a situation where you play that much, you think, wow, he's got to be getting tired. But
well, and you know what? He's so smooth, he might not show. There are times he's tired, but that's the best way to describe it, is such little waste in his game. He doesn't do anything that he doesn't have to, and that's not necessary on the ice. He reads plays so well.
Boucher made that subtle save moments ago on the redirection by Zach Parise. Here's Coburn with the puck.
We've always said he's an economy of energy, and boy, I'll tell you what, you talk about smart plays. He's got just absolutely unbelievable hockey sense, which leads back to the fact that he doesn't need to go a long way to do his job because he's already anticipated or read the play.
Well, he reads one right there and knocks the puck ahead to Blair Betts. And now Darryl Powell, and Powell's shot knocked down by Brodeur. But that was on cue. Pronger right there, reading a play, stepping up in the neutral zone, sending the Flyers the other way. Now it's tipped by Zubris all the way down, no icing. And Powell goes back. Stumped by Clarkson. Clarkson got that puck back. Schoola's shot blocked. Oh, that one stung Betts. It got him in the hand. And Blair Betts, the latest Flyer to go to the bench hurt after blocking a shot. LePerriere checked by Martin. Rob Niedermayer's there. LePerriere gets up. Puck is still in his skates. He's got it. Now bats it high in the air. Where will it land? Flyers find it, but it's tipped away from Van Riemsdyk. Rychek will just roll it around behind. And on the forecheck is Giroux. He has just been sensational in this game, and a penalty. That was a broken stick. Paul Martin's stick was broken. So we'll see what the penalty is here as we go back to the bench and look at Blair Betts in distress.
Well, Blair Betts is looking at his hand, but it's the hand that he just picked up the drink.
Minor penalty for slashing.
Another one of those broken sticks leading to a slashing penalty.
Hate him. Here's the block with the left hand by Blair Betts, and his hand was open, and there's not much padding in the palm of the glove. But Jim McClosson spent about 20 seconds talking to Blair Betts, and then moved away from him, which is always a good sign. But now the Flyers on the PK again.
The 6th man advantage of the game for the Devils. They win the draw. Parise back. Kovalchuk's shot never made it in on goal. In fact, it broke the stick of Colin White as he was trying to deflect it. And Blair Betts is back out on the ice for the Flyers in the penalty kill. So
Colin White's going to spend this entire power play up front in the forward position.
Perrier tips that puck to Betts. And he's able to clear all the way down.
Jacques Lemaire liked it so much when he saw Peter Laviolette doing it with Chris Pronger that he decided to put Colin White there.
It is an imitation is the greatest sign of flattery. You know what I'm trying to say?
Close enough.
As the puck is along the boards. And Betts trying to clear. It comes back to the point. Ralston a shot. That goes off a stick and then the corner glass. Kovalchuk kept it in, but there's Pronger. Couldn't clear it. Hit a body, but LePerriere has plenty of room. And he'll send it all the way down. Flattery. For some reason I wanted to say Flattery, but either way, they've imitated the Flyers. They haven't gotten the results that Pronger got quite yet. And Colin White working down low on the power play. There's a centering pass for Langenbrunner, broken up. Good play by Carl. And now Richards ahead to Powell. All by himself, just dishes into the Devils zone and heads off on a change. 34 seconds is all that's left in the power play.
Still a finely tuned penalty killing machine for the Flyers, and they're really being smart with their shift lengths as well. As soon as the puck is out, everybody changes, even after 15 or 20.
Devils get the puck back to Martin here. He'll wind up and blast, blocked by LePerriere. He's stunned.
Oh, he got hit
his
in the
gloves
face.
came off. He got hit in the face again. He's bleeding. Some of the idiots in the stands are actually cheering the sight of blood. And Lappy getting immediate attention from Jim McCross. Oh my, a lot of blood. Of course, he took the shot in the face earlier this year, going down to block a shot and lost several teeth. This one's higher.
Yes, it is higher.
And making sure to apply pressure as he takes Ian LePerriere off the ice surface. Most of the Devils fans cheering him now. Some were cheering when they saw he was hurt. Didn't realize, I'm sure, Coatsy, how serious it was.
Well, I'm just glad that he's up, and it doesn't really look like he's wobbly or all. He's just holding on. Probably right now that he's just hopefully hasn't got a broken cheekbone or something like that.
Paul Martin blasted it.
Oh.
And it may have hit him in the cheek, as Coatsy alluded to, the side of his face, but it looked like it was in the upper half of his face as opposed to the lower half, so you're always concerned about eyes. But the fact that once Ian LePerriere got hit, he stayed on his feet, to me, is just an indication that it might have hit him somewhere in the face other than the eye.
Peter Laviolette,
I hope I'm right.
Yeah, Peter Laviolette was asked about his players blocking so many shots. Of course, Gagne was lost to a broken toe because of a blocked shot. Jeff Carter actually hit by friendly fire from Chris Pronger. Broke a foot. Here's LePerriere. And that's hockey. That's the playoffs. You're going to see blocked shot totals go from the high teens to the 20s to even the 30s as you move along in the playoffs. You just have to hope, upon hope, that you don't lose players to it. Unfortunately for the Flyers, the last couple games, they are suffering some injuries. Hopefully this one not serious. We'll get a report, but as soon as possible.
JJ, the number of power plays that the Flyers have had to face in this series has put so many good players at risk, including Gagne, Betts, LePerriere.
There is Zajac. There's the power play. The sixth for the Devils in this game is over. Kovalchuk finds Martin. Martin tried to get it in front, laying out to block it, both Timonen and Pronger. So they just keep going to work, getting in the way of that puck. Puck rolls ahead. Giroux after with Kovalchuk. And beating them over with Skula to get to it. Skula now for Martin. We approach the 5-minute mark of this third period. Still a 3-0 game. Now and off the back of Clarkson skating, so the play is offside at the Philadelphia line.
Flyers will take all the whistles they can get in this period, provided they're not all in their end. So they don't have to take all of the face-offs, but you chop it up a little bit. The Devils can't get any momentum. We just saw Blair Betts. Blair Betts back after blocking Kimmo Timonen and Chris Pronger after Ian LePerriere was helped off the ice. Both went down simultaneously to block a Devils shot.
coming into this period, Timonen and Pronger combined for 31 blocked shots in this series. So that was another one there. They may have ruled that was a pass attempt, so when I got credit for it. Here's Van Riemsdyk, a shot blocked. Bounces out. Carl sends it off the outside of the net. We're ready to stick there as well, but it was going wide. And now moving it ahead. Devils to center. Zubris reaching for it. Carl said no. Billy Leno turns. Then across the line. Right wing feed Briere. Back in front. It hit Leno. He turns with it. Moves toward the slot. Shot, and it took off. And Riemsdyk got his stick into the midsection of Mato. He will now head to the penalty bench. Delayed call. This will be the 7th power play coming up. Brodeur to the bench. Extra skater on for the Devils. They'll try to take advantage right here. Kovalchuk threw it into the neutral zone, and right there was Carcillo. And so the whistle. And Riemsdyk will head to the box.
Philadelphia 21, 2 minutes for hooky.
Well, don't miss a moment of live playoff action as the Eastern Conference quarterfinals continue at the Wachovia Center. They may not continue this Sunday. It looks like if the Flyers have their way with the final 14-10, there will not be a game on Sunday. That doesn't mean there aren't future games. 800-298-4200 is how you sign up.
Now we can tell you with certainty there will be more home playoff hockey for the Flyers. Whether it's round 1 or round 2, we can't say for sure yet as Pronger clears all the way down. And Riemsdyk, the latest Flyer to feel shame in the penalty box. Parise across for Elias. Turns back into the slot area, tipped away by Richards. Now Martin down low. Richards breaks that up. Mike Richards has had a strong game breaking passes up. He is very active with his stick. Martin has it back. And now it's Elias all the way across. One-time shot by Kovalchuk. Was rejected in front, back to center ice.
I think Mike Richards has played as smart a game as he has in the playoffs so far.
Kovalchuk centering, that goes off a stick and across the ice. How so, Bill?
Well, we talked about Chris Pronger not wasting much. Oh, look, another block.
Parise backhander save. Boucher rebound. Kovalchuk, another block as Coburn got in the way. And now Richards had Giroux breaking, but couldn't get him the puck as it was knocked out.
Well, Mike Richards has spent a lot of time on the defensive side of the puck. Of course, the Flyers have had the lead in this hockey game. Mike Richards has played so much, he hasn't been able to waste any energy. He's just played smart.
Still 40 seconds on the power play as Green moves it in along the wall. Send it toward the net off of Dean McCammon. McCammon back out for Green. Has a look and then a wrister that was deflected and sailed to the glass. Powell up the middle of McCammon, gets it away, turns around, fakes the shot, deals to Kovalchuk for the shot, and he found the net, but it was the wrong kind of net. Off a deflection, it was the safety netting, and Kovalchuk's frustration continues.
Flyers have gotten a piece of the last 6 Devil shots. I mean, bodies still flying everywhere to try to get in front. That was Braden Coburn that deflected this one. Before that, Darryl Powell laying out, trying to block. Unbelievable.
So Kovalchuk makes his way back to the bench with 18 seconds remaining on this power play. Pronger, strong in the backhand. Here's it all the way down. Has a word or two for David Clarkson and then goes to the Philadelphia bench. 5 seconds is all that's left on the Van Riemsdyk minor. Krajicek to the puck. He'll shovel it out to center and down the ice to finish off the New Jersey power play. So back to full strength as we hit the 8-minute mark of this third period. Mato overskates. Hartnell to the puck. Hartnell turns. Goes back across ice with it. That shot by Krajicek. Gloved by Brodeur, and he'll hang on. We'll step aside. Flyers still lead by 3.
Here in the Comcast Sportsnet studios, and an update on elsewhere in the NHL playoffs. Pittsburgh and Ottawa, that goal right there by Chris Kunitz was initially waved off, but they ruled it a goal and it made it 2-2. Right now we are in the third period of that one, still tied at 2. JJ, back to you.
All right, Amy, thank you very much. There's the breakdown. Pittsburgh in good position there in the series. Dogfight tonight. Flyers, they could wrap this game up in regulation. Probably be the first team to make it to the second round, but still 11 minutes and 46 seconds before we can say that.
You know that one series the Penguins lost when leading 3-1? I think that was 1975 when the Islanders kept coming back, knocking everybody off.
And it was 3-0.
Except the Flyers.
Right, and it was 3-0.
It was.
Obviously, that became 3-1.
And
you're right. That's gotta be it.
We had the Islanders 3-0, and they came back and made it 3-3.
And then Dorney blew the puck past Chico Resch, who's working here in the building tonight, and all the rest, as they say,
is flattery.
Centering pass, redirection try by Ralston, and that went off perhaps Boucher and then through the blue paint. Now Elias trying to set it. That gets brought up behind the net and then off glass, but not out of the zone. Here's Langenbrunner. Oh, and Van Riemsdyk reaches around him and sweeps the puck out to center ice. Here comes Langenbrunner cutting on in. His shot stopped by Boucher. And Leno, a nice pass sending Briere to center ice with Hartnell. Briere on the left wing waits, and then his shot attempt blocked off by Motto. Hartnell back along for Leno. And Langenbrunner found it instead to Elliott.
What a solid effort by Ville Leno. Thrown into the fire. First playoff game. He played 7 playoff games last year with Detroit. But this is his first action this year, and he has looked like he has played every game.
Marcillo. And some help from Richards. He got the puck out of the zone. Richards got hit in the back there and winced a little. And Zajac will backhand into the Philadelphia zone. And that shot by Zubris, fought off by Boucher. Martin throwing it toward the net, and Boucher is there to grab another one. 3 ticks shy of the halfway point of this third period. Well, tonight on Sports Night, John Bork reports from Newark with Flyers-Devils Game 5 reactions and complete highlights and analysis, plus a recap of the Phillies-Braves series finale and the latest on the Eagles and the NFL Draft. Lots going on in Philadelphia sports. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Toyota Sports Night tonight at 10 on Comcast Sportsnet.
There's Ville Leno. What's difficult when you get thrown into a series when it's your first time in the playoffs that season? It's the intensity. It's the speed of play. And Ville Leno has been really quick with all of his decisions. His skating has been good. And anything physical the Devils have thrown at him, he's been ready for it.
And a 2-on-1. Carl with Powell. Carl with the puck to Powell. He could not punch it home. As Brodeur slid across, Carl will send it back around deep into the Devils zone. Might see some odd man rushes now with the Devils having to look to go offensive and activating their blue liners. Devils get to the puck here. Skula in deep to Parise. Trying to get it out in front. It was blocked aside. Now he centers it. Loose puck. They jam for it. Still loose. And finally Carl twisting it to the boards. And Asham will move it to center ice.
Great protection for Brian Boucher. That's when Zach Parise is at his most dangerous, when he has the puck behind the net. The Flyers just went turtle on him, and he had no room to come out.
That's just a replay of how the whole evening's been. Anytime that puck comes close to Boucher, right there once again. He's got people there to clear the puck, and nobody for the Devils could get near him.
Boucher with another answer for Ilya Kovalchuk drive. Now Colin White sends one weakly in on the Philadelphia goaltender. He gladly accepts it and covers up. 8:48 on the clock.
Throughout this season, Blair Betts and his partner Ian LaPerriere have done a fabulous job on the penalty kill. And the real key has been blocking shots. He took one in the hand early. But let's take a one earlier this year when Ian LaPerriere against the Buffalo Sabres, Jason Pominville's going to wind up and bang, he takes it in the face. Tonight, same situation, a little bit closer, and the worry here is you see him take his hands away. He's just trying to see exactly what's going on, and as Billy had mentioned, you just pray that he's all right and he doesn't have a broken cheekbone, but you just got to wonder where he got hit exactly.
Still trying to get an update on that, and if we don't get it during the game, stay tuned obviously for Flyers post-game line presented by McDonald's, and perhaps they will have further update for you. Puck was out of play. Clarkson shoving with Briere. Hartnell comes to the rescue. Scotty wants to protect his teammate here, but he also doesn't want to go over the line and draw a penalty.
Well, this should be one time where I would say go for it, Mr. Hartnell. Not when it's Danny Briere getting roughed up by David Clarkson. I mean, Danny Briere is a $165 soaking wet, not a fighter.
Oh, I think he should come to his aid. I just don't think he wants to take the. Well, as it turns out, it looks as though it'll be both, as Clarkson and Hartnell are both going toward the box. You called this shot, Mr. Clement, courtesy of Peter Laviolette.
Well, only because Danny Briere and Claude Giroux figured to end up trying to fill the void that Jeff Carter and Simon Gagne left, leaving the lineup. Man, have they come through. A goal and one for Briere, 2 goals and a helper for Claude Giroux.
Not only is it even up, it's 4 on Clarkson and 2 on Hartnell. So in that case, you were right, Bill. You know the guy's getting 4. Go for it.
No.
So the Flyers now have the power play.
You don't actually read the dance card on your way into the dance hall.
Don't you wish you could?
Yeah, really. Say, what's he got? He's got 4? Okay, I'm going to go for 2.
Richards trying this shot right off the draw. It was blocked, but the Flyers get to it. Giroux through for Richards. And he'll settle things. Back to the point, Pronger. Whoop. Really lost it. He'll drop it back deep now. Giroux is checked. Langenbrunner had some trouble controlling as well, but finally the Devils do clear it all the way down. The 4 minutes for roughing on Clarkson, 2 on Hartnell, and the Flyers with their 5th power play. While the Flyers have been shorthanded more than they've been on the power play, we must say the Devils, for a team that committed the fewest amount of minor penalties of any NHL team during the year, they have lacked some discipline in this series too. Flyers have had a lot of chances with a man advantage.
The Devils average fewer than 3 times short per game in the in the regular season. They were at 6 coming into tonight's game. What are they at now?
This is their 5th.
There we go.
Yep. Timonen for Briere. Back to Timonen. He'll wind up and take the shot. Save Bruno. Rebound. Richards and Giroux are fishing for it, but it's Travis Zajac chugging the other way. Fakes the shot. And then just flips one. That's cut off. And there's Giroux. Has 2 goals on the night. He'll head man to Van Riemsdyk. Giroux heading off the ice. And Riemsdyk will nudge the puck deep into the Devils zone. Billy Leno on the other side, back around behind. Skula will cut that one off, but then he's checked by Powell. Coburn pinches. He's together with Zubris. The puck bounces out toward the slot. That's Leno nearly making a maneuver away from a Devil, but he lost control, and Zajac clears. There's 13 seconds left in the power play, but the game clock is also ticking. And it's down to 6:32 remaining here in the 3rd. The Flyers still with a 3-goal advantage. Green will clear that one up and out of play into the bench area. Play stopped. The answer to our Jeep trivia question was the first year the Flyers went up 3-1. I thought you might know, Bill, because you were on the team. 1974. The finals against Boston, they won the series in 6 games.
Well, things just got brighter for the Flyers. Already on the power play. Andy Green dumped the puck into the stands. Didn't touch the glass. I thought I heard it nick off the glass.
It was, I'm sitting right here, and he was looking down, trying to get it above the high glass, and no such luck. So typical for the Devils tonight. The Flyers once again on the power play, because that went straight across the glass. The referees picked right up on it.
Here's Giroux moving up. Giroux dancing on in, but checked off the play by Colin White before he could get into shooting range. And the puck cleared all the way down. Flyers will quickly change as we take below 6 minutes to play.
Flyers wouldn't mind getting a goal here on the power play, but the big part of the mission is making sure the Devils don't get anything.
Yeah, they swarm in the forecheck here, and Leno and Van Riemsdyk maneuver the puck away. Coburn to Richards. Richards in heavy traffic. Chops it to Leno. Knocks it out of midair and now controls. Leno shifting. Moving to Richards. Mike Richards in along the wall, looking to get it back to Leno. It's deflected, bounces off of him, and Van Riemsdyk, the side of the net, nearly had a chance to get one on goal, but it's cleared all the way down by the Devils. 53 seconds on the power play, approaching 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. Matt Carl starts up. He's had a heck of a series. Comes to Giroux, Giroux to Briere. Briere will roll it along behind the net. Hartnell crashes in after it. Colin White moved it ahead to Parise. And now it's Zajac. Back to Zach Parise, gaining the Philadelphia line, takes the shot and missed it wide, and that sets the Flyers up the other way. Hartnell charging up with Briere, but it's a 2-on-2. Devils getting back. Hartnell will try to rifle a cross-ice pass. That's intercepted, and Parise will give to Dean McCammon. 1-on-3 to the Philadelphia line, then drops it back to Skula, whose shot goes well wide. Aaron Asham jumps off the Philadelphia bench. As the power play clock winds down, Asham takes the return feed in the middle. Betts to Powell. Powell the shot, batted away by Brodeur. Powell back after it. Rolls free in front. Coburn spots it. Gives to Powell in front. Betts batted it wide out the other side. Entered it in front, but the Devils in good position to control. And now it's Zubris chipping it past Timonen. He'll chase. Back to full strength hockey here. Devils need to run out of time. 4:05 remaining. They need to get offense, and a lot of it in a hurry. Powell got to get past the pinching Martin and all the way down, and he did so without icing it. So Andy Green starts back up, has to go the full length of the ice. He'll chip it in, batted down by Carl, but he did so with a high stick. So with 3:46 to play in the third, we step aside. Tonight's Flyers-Devils Game 5 is being brought to you by your Quality Plus Ford dealers. By Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Wachovia, the official financial services partner of the Philadelphia Flyers. And by your local Tri-State Toyota dealers. Go Flyers, go Toyota. Toyota moving forward. Ed Snyder, chairman, looking on, still has the game face going. He won't relax until that final second is ticked off the clock.
Let's take a look at our Toyota turning point and have it in the second period. First of all, watch this. The big banger from Claude Giroux. Now, did it go in? Sure, it went in. It went in so quick, it came out so quick. And that is our Toyota turning point. Not one, but 2 goals and an assist for Claude Giroux in this one.
He has been spectacular. The Flyers done a great job here in the third of just limiting the Devils. Devils have taken some penalties too. Now Kovalchuk steals a pass, tried to center, bounces free. McCammon to Martin. Pass back toward the point, tipped by Carcillo, and finally makes its way out to center ice. We'll see if Jacques Lemaire, he's very conservative usually when pulling his goalie, but down 3, we'll see if he pulls Martin Brodeur here in the next half minute or so to try to give his team a chance for the comeback.
Of course, Jacques has, in some senses, tried to defy logic in this series. Travis Zajac and Zach Parise, along with Jamie Langenbrunner, played together for 88 games and were terrific until the midway point of this season when he broke them up. And he seems really reluctant to put them back together again, and he hasn't even trailing in the series.
Parise firing that one off the side of the net. There is Zajac out on the ice as he gets it back. Mono couldn't keep it in.
Finally, that now let's Zubris and Parise and Zajac.
Yeah.
Close, but not the line that was so dynamic for the Devils for 88 straight games.
Elias sending it in. Pronger overskates behind the net. Elias picks up the puck, centered for Langenbrunner. It's rattling around and kicks off a skate to Ville Leno. He flips it ahead. Hartnell bats it past Skula. And then he'll just send it in from the blue line. And as the Devils get back, just 2 minutes remain in the third period. Flyers continue to lead by 3. Kovalchuk to the Philadelphia line. His pass broken up by Timonen to the very end. Frustration for Ilya Kovalchuk. And that's fired all the way down in New Jersey. A lot of talk when that trade was made, getting Ilya Kovalchuk. The Devils are going for it, adding offense to their strong defensive mix. It just didn't seem to come together.
This is playoff game number 9 in the career of Ilya Kovalchuk, and Brian Boucher grabs this one. He has 1 win, and it was in this series.
Well, he's faced 25 shots, now 26 throughout this hockey game, and he's just been so sound throughout the whole time. Right there, inside, right there again. Once again, big shot. He made a great save right here on Parise. Got the paddle out very, very quickly. And you see right there, covering pipe to pipe. He's just been in front of it the whole night. And that's why he's our Bud Light player of the game.
But of course, we can't quite finish without another power play for the Devils. Richards is called for hooking, and so Jacques Lemaire is called timeout.
Listen to this crowd. When they booed the timeout, and you have such expectations for your team. The Devils, completely different scenario than the Flyers. The Devils had a great record for most of the season. We're up near the top of the division or at the top with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And now to have this happen to them, the Flyers, goaltending injuries, had to go to a shootout, the final game of the 82-game season, to win the shootout against the New York Rangers just to be here. That is why you just want to get in. Brian Boucher has led the way once the Flyers got in, and a minute and 30 seconds from now, the Flyers will be moving on, most likely to take on the Washington Caps in the next round.
Lemaire has pulled Brodeur, so 6 skaters on 4 with the power play. Timonen will send it along the boards. Martin could not keep it in. Powell speeding after it. Got a stick on it, but it's tipped back toward the Philadelphia line. It's sent in. Timonen is back. He'll send it off the glass all the way past Martin and down the ice.
How good a shot does Brian Boucher have?
That would be ironic. Here's Kovalchuk,
wouldn't it?
Sending it in. Boucher couldn't quite knock that one down. Zajac to it. Back to Kovalchuk. Across for Martin. Back to Kovalchuk, and wow, there's symbolism right there. Off his skate to center ice.
That is the snapshot of this series for Ilya Kovalchuk and the Devils, and the job the Flyers have done on them.
45 seconds remain. Cross-ice pass. Handle off the wall by Zubris. Back out Martin. Now it's Zubris. Winds and fires. Save Boucher. Giroux will fire it the length of the ice toward the empty net. Looking for the hat trick, but it will go wide. 25 seconds now. As Elias moves to center. Elias in, winds and fires wide of Boucher. Back out Clarkson. The legged runner, that's intercepted. Hartnell drills it, but Green knocks it down. Cross ice, one-time shot. Glove save. Boucher off of who else? Ilya Kovalchuk. And he hangs on. Another snapshot, Mr. Clement.
And in that play, there was yet another photograph, and it was Braden Coburn laying his body out to try to block this shot. Watch him there, number 5 for the Flyers. Laying that long, tall frame of his out to try to block a shot with 10 seconds to go and a 3-0 lead. That tells you all you need to know about the Flyers in this series.
And the puck to the corner, 5 seconds, comes free. McKevin tries to center, tries the other side, bounces free. This one is over. And 10 years later, Brian Boucher and the Flyers, they take care of business and beat the New Jersey Devils. And in fact, the Flyers continue their domination of the Devils this season and move on to the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. They win the game 3-0. Boucher's second career playoff shutout. They take the series 4-1. Impressive.
Really impressive. Peter Laviolette pushed all of the right buttons without Jeff Carter and Simon Gagne in this game. He continued to talk about what was left, not what was gone. And the fact that the Flyers had a 3-1 lead on the Devils. Boy, did the guys in orange and black come through and produce in this hockey game.
Brian Boucher, 3 weeks ago, everybody wondering whether he could get the job done. Boy, did he. 27 saves for his second career playoff shutout. The Flyers end up beating the Devils 9 of 11 times this year, regular season and playoffs included. Who knows what the future holds for Kovalchuk, but the Flyers did a great job on him here in this series. Handshakes go on. Great tradition in hockey. After you battle, scrap, and claw, you then shake hands, and the losing team wishes the winning team well as they move on in the playoffs. Third consecutive first-round loss for Brodeur and the Devils as the Flyers take care of them in 5 here in the Eastern Conference quarterfinals.
I can't tell you how amazing and how incredible the turnaround that Brian Boucher has put together really is. Aaron Asham barely has his right eye open. He got dinged up in this hockey game. But Brian Boucher went from a guy that looked like he might not even come close to getting the Flyers into the playoffs. This was like 10 days before the season ended, to a guy that you could make the case has been the best goalie in the playoffs so far. Coatsy, go for it.
Thanks very much, Billy. As the captain of this hockey club, going into tonight's game, you knew that everybody had to step it up with the loss of Carter and Gagne. Your thoughts on this hockey game?
It was great. I mean, obviously, it's nice to get the win, to move on. It's always the toughest one to win, obviously, and we played with a lot of desperation. We matched them, shot for shot at the beginning, and our power play was good. We had a couple people step up. Bush made great saves, and it's nice to move on.
Richie, it's always good to talk about the guys that do a good job in the offensive zone to score goals, but what a job you guys as a group did defensively.
Yeah, you know what? That's exactly it. We did it by committee. We had people blocking shots from every which way, and obviously Lappy with his face, it's unfortunate to see, but he's a heart guy. He'd do anything for the team, and just along with everybody else, people blocking shots, people making plays and taking hits, and it was really a by committee win.
Congratulations. Go in and have some fun.
Thanks, Coach.
Back up to you guys.
By committee indeed, with the Flyers the first to advance to the second round in the NHL. All right. We know the Flyers have advanced. We know they're in the Eastern Conference semifinals. That's about all we know. We don't know who they're going to play. We don't know when it will start. We can't tell you some of the series will be seen on Comcast Sportsnet. So check your local listings once the matchups are set up. And of course, tickets will be available for the Flyers in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Got a lot coming up in the post-game show for the entire crew, including executive producer and director Brian Cooper and associate producer Chris Cujaro, as well as my partners Bill Clement and Steve Coates. I'm Jim Jackson. Good night from the Prudential Center. Stay tuned now for Flyers post-game live presented by McDonald's. On to the second round.